Welcome to the Mindset for Success show. I'm Temia Brinson, your host, and I'm so excited about the show tonight because we have a special guest. Tonight we have Michelle Fletcher. She's an entrepreneur, a health advocate, and a public speaker in the areas of nutrition and exercise. So what I want to focus on is the fruits and vegetables in a capsule, because that's so fascinating that you can put all of that into a cap. I mean, I can just pop my pill and keep going, okay?
Exactly.
So the company that you're partnered with, Juice Plus, like I said, I want to focus on the main one I'm looking at is the capsules and for fruits and vegetables. That's on the informational. It says it's 30 fruits and vegetables. Is that right?
Correct. So
Okay.
It could be 20 because you could decide to get our 2 blend, which is fruits and vegetables, or 30 when you add in the berries. So then we have 3 blends, but you can opt to get 2 or start with all 3.
Okay. Wonderful. And all of this is pure raw fruits and vegetables, right? Nothing artificial?
Nothing artificial. It's pretty much picked from the farm. And a lot of the farmers have like a process that they do there where they're not juicing it, they're kind of grinding it. So there's some of the fiber still left in the fruits and the vegetables that are in the powders. And then they're also able to extract the sugar and the salt and the water out so that they're left with that concentrated nutrition. And everything is vine ripened, which is something which is really hard for us to get a lot of days is vine ripened fruits and vegetables, unless we're picking it from our backyard or from a friend. It's hard because we're getting so much produce from other countries, from across the country. So everything's picked early. And they're not allowing it to ripen on the vine because they know it will be bad by the time we receive it. So they pick it early. And that just means we're losing a lot of nutrients.
Right.
Produce. So everything is vine ripened at the peak of ripeness. So it's full of nutrition. And then they go through the process and they're left with the powders, put them into capsules or even gummies. So the gummies, the kids love to take the gummies. I like to eat them occasionally because they're like a sweet treat. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, this is fascinating because, as I stated before, when I reached out to you, I think the country as a whole, people as a whole need to really focus on nutrition right now because we're in this pandemic and we don't really there's no cure for COVID-19, but we can build our immune system and focus on nutrition. People can, just take 1 or 2 pills or whatever and get all of their fruits and vegetables, their nutrients, and be good, at least, for that day. I mean, something that you can do daily to take care of yourself.
Exactly. And it's like a safety belt, you put on your seat belt when you're driving a car. It really helps to, not every day are we perfect eaters and are we eating enough, but it really helps you to get in, a lot more than you probably would on a normal day and consistently getting that nutrition where you're right. That will help to build up your immune system.
So how many servings?
So if you do the vegetables, that's 1 bottle. If you do the fruits, that's another. And then if you do the berries, that's another bottle. So they have put each one into its own category because those things work well together in synergy. So it's 3 bottles and you would take, if you were taking the capsules, you would take 2 of each, but we don't compare it really to servings because once you take out the fiber and the water of that fruit or vegetable, it's hard to compare like the actual powder to a serving of a fruit because they know that they're throwing a lot of produce into what is grinded and put into that powder. Because, just like if we were to be, and this is a little morbid, but cremated, we're this full person, but when we are cremated, we're put in a little container like this because now all all the water, our bodies are like over 80% water, all that is gone. So it's hard to compare, but we know that you're getting a lot of those different fruits and vegetables in those powders, and the research that has been done since the company came into conception. They said, you know what, we don't want to be a testimonial company. We want to have solid research. And it's the research that proves that we're getting a lot of that nutrition, and the results of that research is incredible. The results.
So yeah, I wanted to get into that. What were the results? Because again, the informational, I went and looked at the information on your site, and it says that Juice Plus did 30, I believe, clinical research. And what did they find?
So we have over 40 now. Like,
oh wow.
Is it over 40? Oh my goodness. When I first started, we have over 40 at this point, I believe.
Wow.
And they're constantly doing research, and the research is on various health factors. So, oh gosh, give me grace, but I'm praying I remember the majority of this. So they've done several studies in different areas. So they have studies on immune function and how that's improved. They have studies on, they did a study on adolescent boys that were pre-diabetic and overweight. And that study was pretty amazing, showed that they were no longer pre-diabetic and had lost fat around the abdominal area, which a lot of times is an indicator of being pre-diabetic. Okay. So their results were really, really good. They've done studies on cardiovascular wellness. They've done a lot of studies on that. I think at least 5 or more studies showing that it improves cardiovascular wellness. I've always been into fitness most of my life. So I thought cardiovascular wellness really came from exercise, and I had no idea how, plants play such a role in that. So that was really eye-opening. They've done a study on skin health, and that shows that you have more skin density and more elasticity in your skin as you age, which is something we need as we're getting older. Our skin gets a little thinner. So they show that. They've done studies on the mouth, so the gums and the health of the inside of your mouth, because the inside of your mouth really is a window to your health overall.
Right.
So they've done a study on that. There's more studies. They've done studies on the DNA, how taking this product protects your DNA and improves your DNA over time. It's because your DNA is getting broken down as you get older. It's constantly because of what we're bombarded with all the time. And the study shows that it actually improves your DNA. They did a study on pregnant women. Pregnant women. A lot of pregnant women use Juice Plus as a prenatal because you're getting so many more nutrients in those fruits and vegetables than you would just from a prenatal that only has a certain amount. They've done a study on, I just thought of what's the other study that I was, cancer patients. Ovarian cancer patients. Yes. So
ovarian cancer. Wow.
At Texas MD Anderson Cancer Center in Texas. And that was an amazing study. It showed it had a group of women that were eating 10 fruits and vegetables every day. And then they had another group that was eating 5 and then taking Juice Plus and drinking our vegan protein shake. And the women that were taking Juice Plus and eating the 5, they had less mortality rates. Now, these were women that were cancer survivors. So ovarian cancer is like the highest, I guess, the most reoccurring cancer. That's why they chose that demographic. And they had less incidence of reoccurrence, which is amazing. And then their health markers were similar, if not a little bit better than those that were eating the 10 every day. So,
goodness. Just from absorbing those fruits and vegetables, that's amazing.
It's incredible. And there's a couple more studies that I'm not remembering, but I'm impressed that I did remember all those right now.
What about digestion? Does it have any effect on your digestion?
Well, we talk a lot about gut health and how, a lot of what's happening in the body starts in the gut. And when your gut is unhealthy, then a lot of other things appear. So it definitely does. Plants help to neutralize a lot of gut health issues that people have. And now more than ever, it seems like lot of people have gut issues, because it's the food we're consuming. They're just putting a lot of damage on our gut. And so, yes, it does improve gut health.
Okay, wonderful. That's amazing. We'll be back with Michelle Fletcher right after this break. So tell me about, I read about food synergy because that's like the secret as to why this product from the company that you're partnering with, why this is so effective because of food synergy. So can you tell us about that?
Okay, so this product was actually created and formulated by a naturopathic doctor. Mm-hmm. And then the formula was actually sold to our company years ago. This is over 25 years ago. And so the naturopathic doctor, his father had cancer, and they said it was stage 4. There was nothing else they could do for him. So he said, you know what, I'm going to try and help him. And so that's what he did. He brought him home and his father didn't have much of an appetite. So he started to juice different fruits and vegetables and put the powders in his water. And his dad eventually got better and healthier, and his dad came through. So after that, a lot of people started to hear about this doctor, and they were traveling from all over to go visit him. I believe he was in New Mexico. And somehow he was introduced to the president of our company, which the company was around, but they were selling other things that were healthy for the home. So they were doing, fire alarm systems, water filters, air filters. They were all about health in the home. And they were looking for a way to get more nutrition into people's diets. So they were thinking of juicers. This is back in like the late 80s, early 90s. And then when they were introduced to the naturopathic doctor and his powders, they were like, wow, if we could put this in a capsule, because the doctor was still selling it in like baggies. So people would have to scoop it and eat it that way. And that was how that came about, and they put them in capsules.
So I was thinking about what I was reading about food synergy, where get all of the nutrients all together. Because, let's say you have a goal of eating 5 different fruits and vegetables in a day. There's no way you can get that same amount of nutrients, whereas you would get in a capsule together all at once.
Right. And I mentioned that story because the naturopathic doctor who was experimenting with his father through that cancer process, he was choosing, he knew fruits and vegetables and their composition. He chose which ones worked well together. So our formulas have there's a reason behind them, and the reason why they put the certain fruits together, the reasons they put the vegetables together, and the reasons they put those berries together. They all have a synergy that functions in your body even better. So there's a reason for each combination and each blend, and they work well together. And he didn't choose anything that wasn't very high nutritionally dense. He chose things that had a lot of nutrition, because sometimes people say to me, well, why doesn't it have bananas? And we're just like, well, there's a lot of other fruits out there that have more nutrition than a banana, and they work better together with other, fruits. That's why he chose it.
Okay, wonderful. So all of this is safe, right? I saw it says that it is NSF certified. I don't really know what that means, but
yes. Well, you know what? Some of the best products you'll find out there, you'll see with NSF certification. And what that is, it's a nonprofit organization, and they're very stringent. They go around and they make sure that the quality of the products are up to par, if not subpar. And they make sure that there's no harmful toxins or contaminants in those products. So they randomly go around and test batches of our products, and we don't know when they're coming. It's very random, and we have never failed a test yet. And NSF is the label that Olympians have to have on supplements that they use and take in order to use them in the Olympics. So we have Olympic teams that use our product because it's that safe, and there's no contaminants, there's no GMOs, there's they make sure that there's no toxins or lead. They test for all of that. And so it is so safe that pregnant women can take it. People with compromised immune systems take it, like cancer patients and more. So that just proves to you, as soon as I heard that pregnant women can take it, that automatically, because you know how much they tell pregnant women to stay away from this and that.
Right.
You know, has a good level of safety.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I want to go over a few testimonials because I find the product such a addition to our regimen every day, especially in the pandemic. One of the testimonies I saw on your page was Christian about pre-diabetic, and he was overweight. Tell me a little bit about that, because I didn't know. I know you said it earlier, but I didn't know that it would help pre-diabetic people.
Oh yeah. So that story is just incredible because Christian had started the Juice Plus before they completed the study that I mentioned earlier, where they took adolescent boys, and he was not part of that study. They took adolescent boys that were pre-diabetic and put them on the Juice Plus to see what would happen, and the results were incredible. So when that study came out, me and his mom were together when they announced it at a conference, and she was like, "Oh my goodness, that's my son. That's what happened." And that is her son, Christian. So yes, when he started out, I love to show his pictures. When 7 years ago, before he started, he was overweight. She said he's such a good kid, but people love him so much that they love to feed him all the treats. Whenever he'd go to someone's house or family member's house, they would feed him all the treats. And so, of course, he would gladly accept. And he started to gain weight. And even though he was very active, she said she had him in numerous sports. And when she heard that he was being labeled as pre-diabetic, and she was taking him to an endocrinologist, I believe is the name of the doctor they go to, she just didn't know what to do, because she didn't know what else to give him or do for him. But then her sister heard about this, and her sister said, "We're getting it." And they all started. And within less than 6 months, she had another appointment with the endocrinologist. And when she went back, they were like, "Mom, whatever you're doing, that's amazing. You don't need to come back here. He's no longer pre-diabetic."
Wow.
Less than
that's
6
amazing.
months. Yes. So that is just showing you the power of plants in the body. And if you're getting that concentrated, I mean, if you're eating 3 or 4, that's great. But the fact that he was getting over 20 in his body every day, and within months, they saw that difference, incredible. And I'll share that my dad is also a diabetic, and he's been taking it for the past 9 years also.
Okay. Wow. Okay, one more. I saw one about Jonas. He had acne and eczema.
Yes. So his mom, she also started him on it, and he is in college when she started him on it. But she said he suffered most of his life with acne and eczema, and within months of him starting on it, that started to clear up. And then I love the fact that the picture she gave me of him, his skin was so flawless that it almost made you question if he ever had an issue with his skin. His skin is amazing now. So it just shows every issue our bodies have pretty much, or there's underlying issues. And sometimes it's just a lack of nutrition. Sometimes it's just a lack of nutrition. And what happens when you have the right nutrition, you're helping your body heal. So plants help your body to heal. They have the alkaline properties in them. They have so many things that are of benefit. And guess what? They have things that your body can recognize. Because a lot of times your body cannot recognize vitamins that are isolated, which they try to extract certain things from plants and made them into vitamins. Sometimes your body doesn't know what to do with that, and it expels it when you go to the bathroom. But when you're eating those plants, your body's like, yeah, I know this. This is what God put on the earth, and I know how my body is supposed to use this as fuel or to heal. They say the medicine is right there in the plants.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's awesome that you can actually clear up your skin without having to put those harsh chemicals on it to get rid of the acne and all of that. So that's good. If anything that you can do without using chemicals, it's beautiful. Awesome.
Yeah, especially in children, right? You don't want to do that for children. You want to try to protect them as long as possible. But, everyone's results are different. You never know what their results are going to be. But when you're putting more plants in your body, it's only going to be benefits. Sometimes you don't see the benefits on the outside as much.
Right.
Sometimes you'll see it in your blood work more than you'll see something happening on the outside. But you're definitely doing something better for your body if you're consuming more plants.
Oh, awesome. Okay, Michelle, well, how do our viewers find you and find your website? We're going to link it on my website to your page so they can just click on it and go right to the shop and, buy what they need to get. But how can they go to your site? Or how can they get your product?
Yes, you can find me on Facebook as Michelle Fletcher or on Instagram as Health Coach Mish, M-I-C-H. For anyone who's interested in looking at what we offer, there's a lot of education on the website and some really great videos. So you'll get to see, how this can really benefit you.
Okay. Wonderful. Well, I thank you very much. We're going to have you back because I know you have other healthy products, and that's what I want to bring to the viewers is healthy products and help us live a prosperous life. So we're going to have you with your other products. But for right now, you guys go on her website, click on the link, and go ahead and get it because we're trying to be healthy in this pandemic. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you for having me.